is also a physician. So the easier route from the situation that you guys are in, from what you're expected to do, what you're reimbursed, everything, the easier route is to leave the country. But you chose to stay because you care. You chose to stay because you want to take care of your people. And what we're doing now is to try to support you, to try to enhance what you can do, expand the space a little bit, and try to give you the tools that you don't have, try to help you basically build a system, because we truly, truly believe that what you're missing is not knowledge, is not a skill, is a system. So if you have a good system, if you see the end goal, if you start with the end in mind, I think you'll go far. So we're bringing people who agreed to do the work for free, burn their vacation time, take time away from their families, and spend some time with you. Not just to teach you how to do something, but to share their experiences with you, to learn from you, your experience is unique. You operate from a space of scarcity, and that's not always easy. Yes, we kind of get used to these things and we kind of improvise and keep going, but I think this combination of people who have been experienced, who had the experience of working in a resource surplus setting, somebody who has been operating for over 30 years, very, very big experience in the space, and people who have been in the OR supporting this team for years, to share that experience with you, I think it's a big deal. And it's not just that you guys are going to learn from them, but they also learn from you, and then they will guide the development of systems. We're not very oblivious to the fact that this is not going to solve the problem that you guys have. This team is not, I repeat, is not going to finish the 6,000 patients that you have accumulated. However, we do believe that if we build a system, if we help you build a system that can be replicated throughout the country, a system that can be tested and replicated to other hospitals, other centers, other cities, and even other countries in Africa, really. So that is really what we're looking at. That is the vision that we are looking at. Yes, it's ambitious, but really there's nothing that you cannot do if you put your heart and mind to it. And we will work with you. However, I don't want to belabor the point. None of this will be possible if you're not on board. So think about it. It's just, we can solve. You take care of a patient, you save the patient's life. However, if we have a citizen that identifies as an Ethiopian, and that citizen is having a heart attack that can potentially kill him or kill her in the next 2 hours, or they're having aortic dissection or tamponade or any massive pulmonary embolism, any cardiovascular emergency, I think we should work on building a system where we can save the patient's life first and then ask questions if the patient can actually afford to pay. And then we have to work on the community to also teach them how important it is that they try to pay if they can, because I trained here, so I do know that not everybody is really poor in Ethiopia or any other African countries, right? So people who can pay, I have a very strong opinion on this. People who can pay should be able to pay. But we have to create the system for them to be able to pay. That may not be a full price, may not be half price, or whatever it is. They have to be able to subsidize the person that lives under a bridge. Okay, they should have to be able to pay some kind of money for us to be able to take care of the person who cannot pay, because there are always going to be something in America where I work. I recently did a homeless patient who had a massive heart attack. I didn't know he was a homeless until we were done with the procedure. I think, Leah, you remember that patient, right? So he was homeless. We didn't even know he was homeless. We took care of him. So regardless of who you are, you may call 911 from the White House or from under the bridge. We take care of you. And then we ask questions. Can you pay? If you say you can't pay, we have a system in place to absorb your cost. We charge Paul and you pay for Peter. That's just what it is. So if we don't work together, there is no way a team from America, from wherever, will come here and solve your problems. No. So a solution for Africa has to come from Africa. However, you need guidance. The guidance will be available. Resources will be available. But using these resources, we have to look into the future. How can we actually sustain it? That's really the big word, sustain it. We will do 100 maybe patients this mission, and then next day somebody would die because you were not here. So what have you really done? What does that really mean? So what are we doing? Is that just because you're lucky? You guys remember the 31-year-old we did when we were here last time? He was just lucky. Like, we were just lucky he had that heart attack when we were here, and we took care of it. But so many people probably died after we took care of that guy. He has, 4 children. So the cycle has to be broken at some point. So everybody is running. I know you guys work very hard. Some of you have 2, 3 jobs, because that is just how the system is set up. But how can we actually have the bigger conversation? Not just with you, but with the leadership, with the hospitals, with donors, philanthropists, and non-profit organizations. How can we have the bigger problem? But to solve any problem from the roots, really, the owners of the problem should participate. You can run around, work 5 jobs, and make $1 million, but you still know that your uncle may be dying just 100 kilometers from here because the system is not set up. But if the system is set up to take care of everyone for emergencies, I'm not saying every procedure, for emergencies, at least that person that identifies as an Ethiopian, the person that we recruit to be part of the army, the person that we can potentially send to defend their borders, we should also take care of them when they have a heart attack, when they have some major cardiovascular emergencies. So that is kind of where we're going with this. And I have an amazing team with me this mission. I think the cardiac center, which is our first hospital that we landed, they trying their best to support us with this adventure. We have 4 surgeons for 120 million people. Are they on the same page, those 4 surgeons? Do they work together? Do they scrubbing together? Do they speak up for the people together? Together. I don't know. I'll let you answer that. How many interventional cardiologists do we have? Does one teach the other? Do we work together? Do we speak up for each other together for the people? So if we don't do that, your uncle is going to keep dying from a 20-minute procedure. So you guys know the issue. The government doesn't. I'm sorry. You can go. I have tried. You can go up, all the way up, and ask very simple questions. They don't, because they're not doctors. Even some of the doctors, they've been away from clinical medicine, and they don't know what you're dealing with on a daily basis.
My name is Dr. Obsinet Merid. I'm an internist, trained in the US and currently working as a hospitalist. I'm also the co-founder of Heart Attack Ethiopia, currently serving as the CEO of the organization. I've been in practice for about 10 years post residency graduation. So it's been an honor to serve Heart Attack Ethiopia. We have a wonderful team. We have great board members that have been working day and night to make these missions possible. Tesfaye and I also have 4 beautiful young children. So people ask us, like, why do you do this, right? At this age with young family. It's because not doing anything about it is more overwhelming than actually doing what we're doing, right? I lost my sister when she was 10 years old because of lack of access to healthcare. Of course, Tesfaye lost his uncle to heart attack. So this is very important to us and very dear and near to our heart. Again, thank you to our team who also dedicated their time here and, leaving their family behind and traveling this far distance to come and help us and get to know Ethiopia and the culture. So I would like to start from Dr. Jim Cowton to introduce himself, and then we'll go around the table and talk.